Hey, love bugs, it's Roslynn back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is my channel, much love to you and welcome into my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family. We're all going through different changes in our lives where it's bringing so many things to a clear perspective for us. There's a lot of things that we tend to go through at time and we don't understand what's taking place or why it has to take place, but trust and believe everything is happening for a reason. So trust the process and go with the day. Love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. If you have been watching my videos, I'm sorry about that, y'all. If you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacted your life and heading you towards a positive direction. And if you feel like the videos are very informative to you, give you good vibes, good inspiration, or uplift that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even fellow empaths that are going through trying times at the moment and just need confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give your thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support. It is so greatly appreciated, and I hope that you're able to resonate with the content of my videos. And with that being said, thank you for the support as always. The music channel I'm using today, let me turn it up. Ooh, not that much. That I'm using again is called Spirit Tribe Awakening. Enhanced self-love, healing music, 528 hertz, positive energy, cleanse, ancient frequency music. And I will post their link in the description box below. And the video I'm doing today is called Twin Flame 101 Heyokas, cutting ties with toxic people, but not just toxic people, also toxic versions of ourselves as well. That is so true. We have all gone through things in our lives that we're not proud of. We have had our ways. If you have had your fair share of either having like narcissistic traits, especially if you've been exposed to narcissism, been in family that has toxic, vibes, if you've been in family, if your family is, had toxic parents, you know what I'm saying? If your parents were constantly fighting and stuff like that, you got exposed to it. And, and it was passed down to generation to generation. It's just like we allow ourselves to really look at everything. You really take a good look at all the things that are taking place in your life. Everything happens for a reason. Everything has purpose behind all the pain that you have endured. There was times I would look at situations that I put myself in. I used to be a very hateful person. Sometimes those old egos be trying its best to pop back out of my life. Well, pop back in my life. I don't care if they pop out, I'd be happy. But, this is when that time when your mindfulness has to kick in, discernment has to kick in. All those different things are taking place where, when you're allowing yourself to seek, just being honest about things, being transparent, because there's times that we may not respond to something very well. It can be, you always have a choice. You can either respond to people that come lash at you. When you're raising your vibrations within your Heyoka vibes, you tend to run people the wrong way at times, where they lash out at you. I looked at my comments this morning, and when I say I had to laugh, I really have to laugh. When people want to start pushing out like Bible verses, but you sit up here using devilish, toxic vibes. Number one, I don't have time for all that. When you can sit up here and go to 3 or 4 of my videos and you're leaving these long page comments. I remember I was listening to Tammy Roman the other day say that when somebody could take a picture of you off of Twitter, Instagram, or whatever, and make these long, hateful comments, you're not hating on that person. When you hating on them, it's like you're not that hater, you're a fan, because anytime you have to take your time out and say all this and this and this and that, and not just on one video, but 3 or 4. And I'm just like, I had to look and laugh and keep going, because any other time I would have went tit for tat for this person. I said, for what? I always tell people, I'm not scared to share my truth. Some people, they don't like it. It rubs them the wrong way, and it's fine. I was pushing out my videos the other day on platforms, and it was somebody. Every time I put, "Hey, here's the link to my video," somebody will come right after that and put a link to another video. And I don't know if it was personally. I can see if it was personally theirs or whatever. But it is like when you have that strength and that vibe that gives off to something somebody's not used to. Sometimes there's going to be people that, really going to truly appreciate the things that you do. But there's also going to be those ones that you pose a threat to. I deal with other, content creators, and I tell them the same thing. Miss Linda, I'm going to go ahead and give her a shout out today because prime example, that woman has the most beautiful energy in this world. She has her own YouTube channel that carries gardening tips, or she'll show you different things that she cooks and stuff. That woman can cook herself off. She reminds me of my mom and my sister at the same time. You don't never hear anything bad come out her mouth. As long as I know, I've seen her videos. I've never seen it. And that woman, I'm not into gardening and stuff like that, but it reminds me of the things that my mom used to do all the time. And, there's things that my mom would tell me on how to do different plants and different techniques that she do, and how to take care of them. And she had that green thumb with that. And Miss Linda, I love Miss Linda to death. Anytime I go over there, I always make sure I say something very positive to her, and then when she comes back and she says something in her video like I'm doing with mine, somebody got real nasty with her, and that kind of put me in my feelings. It's just like, if you don't like somebody's video, there's a whole lot of videos I done seen. If I don't like it, I'm not going to go out my way to just say, hey, I don't like this, you just doing, bad mouth talk that person, because I wouldn't want nobody coming back and doing that to me, and there's used to be times that, I used to be toxic like that, where you have said something to me and I would just really crush somebody's existence. And I used to be that way and just had that I don't give a damn attitude. And it's just like, this is a new day and age for me. I just don't have time to be pressing out energy like that. I knew where it get me to, because it's like, you can get started with one and then it travels. You know what I'm saying? I even when it comes to the things that I've dealt with, I'm being transparent about that. And I know I'm getting in a lot of new subs and stuff. So it's just being transparent. It's good when you can actually say something about the things that you have endured in your life, but not have a heavy heart about it. It's not like to keep being repetitive about things, but a lot of people are just now subbing to me. So it's like I try to let them know these are the things that I've had endured in my life, and using that trauma for it to be somebody else's blessing. It's not easy for you to open a book and tell somebody about the experiences you have, especially when you have a parent that is in a public figure. So, going through all these different things, there's a purpose for that. You either have a choice to be toxic and stay toxic in those type of ways, or you can allow yourself to learn from those toxic experiences and allow yourself to, like, what, this is not a good vibe, because it was like one of my friends I was talking to one day, and I said something, I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, I was telling her about, somebody was coming at me stupid, and it had to be that day. It was like Juneteenth, where they ended slavery. It was the anniversary of all those different things that came up. And it was just so many non-Black people coming at me and being very judgmental, being very hateful, being very harsh. And I'm just like, you know what? If this is going to be a type of platform where y'all can do this freely, and you can you can give constructive criticism, but it's all about how you deliver your message. I always tell people that it's all about how you do that. If somebody asked me a question and I said, I always tell them, I'm not that type of person. I'm going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm that one that's going to tell you what you need to hear. You can respect a person that way, but some people feel like if you disagree on what you say, and that means you don't want to be friends. No, it's not like that. We can all disagree on different things and still be friends, but being honest about that, saying, oh, do you like this? And you're like, nah, I really don't, but you can tell when somebody is being very honest with you, or somebody is being very passive aggressive. It took me a long time, and it was just like I used to see that, but I would still ignore that just because I wanted to have people be in my life. And it's just like now I'm with so many things. I'm good being by myself. I'm my own best friend. All the people I stay in contact with are out of state. All the people that I talk to is mainly from here anyway, and they're like-minded. If I start feeling that vibe of somebody, having that toxic vibe of something that there's something I can't touch, or there's something about you I don't understand, I'm just going to leave that alone. Even it's just like people always figure that, if you just do text messages, or you try to cloak yourself, especially if you've been wide open, if you had different experience, you're going to understand there's something that is not pulling off right, or that person speaking volumes and stuff that ain't really sitting right with you. You have to allow yourself to be. You have to be honest about that. And even when there's times universe has told me, hey, your time has come with these certain people, you need to go ahead and break free of that. And I've been having to do a lot of that. And sometimes it's just, hey, we were in our lives, help assist them, be that guardian for them, be that, it's like a, empath, social worker. There's so many people that I had to part ways with. I hated I had to do that. But not everybody's supposed to be meant to stay in your life. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like so many people I had to cut ties with. I grew a lot from learning from them. And it's the same from them. There are certain people that connected with me here, and they were really, really struggling with a lot of wounds that they were really trying to get clarity for, really trying to heal, because a lot of things that we deal with is not easy to just get over. There's some people that don't really understand us and say, oh, just get over it. You don't know why why is it so hard for you to do that? Number one, if somebody that has never experienced things you experienced, it's not something that you can just decide, okay, well, 2 o'clock today, I'm going to go ahead and get over what is just taking place in my life for the last 15, 20 years. It took me a long time to really understand why I went through the things I went through, because it was just like I always used to put myself in very toxic connections, whether it was a boyfriend, whether it was a girlfriend, or even it was just a best friend or somebody like that. And because this is all I was used to, it always made me feel like, raising up with my mom's ex-husband and his wife and their children, it was always making it look like I was the problem. I could never be friends. I could never have nobody love me. I could never do that. Or anytime I was, happy about things, they would make sure that was shut down with a quickness. I could never really be happy. I could never grieve. I lost like friends after friends on top of, my mom, right when I moved back down to the South. So I was never able to grieve. And it was like, as soon as I moved down to the South, my two best friends died like 6 months, apart. And that was a lot for me to deal with. And I, and it's still to this day is been to that point where I'm just now starting to grieve from that, allowing myself to do that. And it's just like, not just from that, but grieving from a old toxic relationship I've dealt with, on and off for 21 years. Plus with my dad passing away, that was a lot for me to have to deal with, where it put me in a rare form to where I was like a walking toxic magnet, very, very, very toxic. So just going through all that, it really made me reflect on myself. And that's what we all have to do. You have to really reflect. You have to see what things that makes you tick. If you already know, looking at certain things that's going to put you back in them old ways, allow yourself to not do that. Don't put yourself in a situation you already know is going to trigger you. Or if you see somebody that knows, I've had to deal with that. I've been vulnerable with people that I thought were my friends. And next thing you know, they used those against me and then told all my business to people and all that stuff. And it made me to that point where it was hard for me to really trust people, and it's just like this seemed like, it seemed like being on this spiritual, awakening has been, it's been a process for me. It really has. I don't want to say it was bad. I don't want to say it was absolutely excellent either, because there's a lot of times when people found out the truth about me, they tried to hurt me with that. And I'm just like, damn, I ain't never, I went out my way to help you. I always gave you kind words when you did not really know about yourself on that spiritual sense. I helped you find that. And this is how you put that on me, and it was very hurtful. Like, God, dog, and it made me not want to get close to people. It made me just want to stay to myself. And, and I was just like, well, don't be unfair towards that, thinking everybody's going to be in your life that comes to me like that, because there's a lot of people that I'm still, connected with on that sense of they do know what I went through. I just try not to really talk about it like that. It's just like when I see it and I understand what I went through, a lot of times, even though I don't have that closure, that doesn't mean I won't get closure. You know, it just lets you know that's where your strength lies at. You know, when you can admit there's parts of you that are still in that weakness, it's okay. As long as you allow yourself to identify with that, because there's a lot of people that, oh, I'm okay, or oh, I'm not tripping off of that. You know, when you're not becoming, not being transparent with the things that you already know, hey, this part of me really needs to be healed. You know, it's no longer needed anymore, because it's like everything that's going on, we are going through hardcore reflection. That's why everybody in the world acting the way they acting right now, because it seems like ever since this quarantine stuff happened, I ain't really had people coming at me like that. I'm like, dude, what the heck is wrong with you? You better take off them petty panties, or you better get something that's two sizes a little bit too big, because them things are a little bit too tight for you, because you were just all wound up. And just allowing myself to check myself, reevaluate myself, and be like, hey, girl, this is not really working with you very well. Allow yourself to vacate from that. You know, like I always try my best to make sure I do a lot of meditation when it comes to cord cutting, cord cutting from negative people, negative circumstances, negative situations, negative memories, emotions, you know, just doing that as much as I can. You know, I've been laughing a lot, you know, but then it was just like with the situation from yesterday. uh I did, what was it, like, not the last videos, the last set of videos I did, it was like that one right before that when Naya Rivera was missing. And I was telling my friends, and I think also I said it on here on my videos, because it's like universe always guides me to say stuff that I have premonitions about. And I said, you know, I was telling a soul sister of mine, I was like, I seen her, and you know, she was bringing her son up to the boat, but it was like either something got caught on her life jacket, or her leg was caught on some kind of shrubbery. And the more she moved, the more she got entangled. And she was worried out. You know, she made sure her son was okay, but she wasn't able to be okay. And I kept on telling my friend with that lump in my throat, like, God, don't let me be right about that. I hate being like that, because it was like that at the beginning of the year, right before Kobe and his daughter died. I said that 2 days before that there's going to be something that's going to go on in the next few days, and that I don't know if it had something to do with a daughter and you know, a child and their parent. And next thing you know, bad, that happened 2 days later. You know, which was on the, I think it was like on my full moon video. It was in late January. So I just don't like stuff like that. You know, when I get in connection with people I talk to on the side, and they're like, Roslynn, that's, you know, I don't know how you can deal with stuff like that. That's a part of my gift I don't like seeing. When I can see that transition of them crossing over, I don't like seeing stuff like that. Now, I like the fact that, well, to a certain extent, let me allow myself to retort back up. I love the fact that I can be able to get in connection with people's family or best friends that, you know, are allowing me to be open with them. There's connecting from them from the other side, to be able to give them the messages they have. Because a lot of times we lose people in our lives and we wonder, are they watching over us? Are they proud of us? Is there anything that I need to know, or anything I need to come aware of? You know, those are the blessings within that. You know, I give anybody props. Like when I see Tyler, what's his name? Tyler Henry from Hollywood Medium, and Teresa Caputo. I watched both of those, and I used to cry like a baby every time I watched those. I give them props, because just for me talking to one person, I'm gonna have to go ahead and take a sit down and a recharge for a whole day. And they do that thing. I don't know what they be doing, but you know, it's just like that can be very heavy in your life, you know. And it's just, when you're in this day and age right now with all the lockdowns, the quarantines, everybody's having to reflect on the things. You know, you have to be what is it, held accountable for your own actions, your own, being responsible for the things that you have pushed out, being you know, responsible for the certain things that you need to let go of, and you need to allow your mindset to change on certain situations. You know, if you're dealing with toxic people, that you're dealing with toxic cycles, you have to allow yourself to really step back from those situations, and allow yourself to know you can wish them well, even if they're sending so much hatred towards you, talking ill of you, all those things. Those people are hurting really bad, because when they're trying to, put all the excess hate on you, excess heavy energy on you, and you're just trying to allow yourself, like, let me do the shadow work so I can cut ties with this situation. Like I was saying, I seen a post the other day saying when people come at you like that and being very hateful, being very mean, it's because that person is hurting and they need help. Yeah, I agree with you on that, but they also need to be able to help themselves. I tell anybody anytime, I don't mind helping you. If you want to be able to get in touch with me side by side, we'll have us a confidential conversation or whatever. But you have to be willing to do that shadow work. You can't expect me to be able to give you all the stuff and you're just sitting on not on a log. I had to learn the hard way, thinking, okay, if I sit here, things are going to get done for me. No, you have to be able to do your own work. If you want change to go into your life, you have to be able to change how you produce things, change how you go all in on things. You can't just do enough, because there's like so many different situations going on with me right now. And it's just like, oh Lord, let me just get the energy for this, because it was like yesterday, after hearing, basically I was right on the premonition I had, and it broke me down. I was crying for at least about 20 or 30 minutes. And I'm just like, I hate having visions like that. I hate being able to not be able to change what is taking place. But it's just like, you can't never question the universe. You never can question what God's term is for that person. Some people are on those spiritual contracts to where it's like they're passing over right now because they're in a bigger place. But it was just like seeing that situation where that little boy was by himself on that boat, and then knowing all that happened. That was like heartbreaking to me, especially being a mother. You never want to imagine something that, a person going through that. And it just seemed like since all these things are, we're going through so many purging and reflecting, it don't put your empathy like times 20. Like, so you're feeling everything extra that's going on. It makes me want to just shut off. People are like, oh, you didn't watch the news? You going to let the world pass you by. I'm like, look, if it's something important, trust me, I'm going to hear about it. I ain't even got to go to the news to know it. Like, hey, universe, like, oh, okay, let me go ahead and tap into this. But allow yourself to evaluate, what parts of your life that's no longer needed in your life. Allowing yourself to make peace with things. Because I know it's just like sometimes, those old, saddened memories will come back up. They're allowing you to make peace with this. It's like no longer needed. Or there'll be certain things that'll come back into your life just to see if it's going to be a trigger, because universe will keep on constantly showing you things just to see if you're going to have the same kind of response, and how you're going to allow yourself to deal with those certain situations that, that is needing you to heal from, because a lot of times we're like, why we start getting blessings, all of a sudden old flames start coming back, or, old people that you already know don't have no kind of good for you, because number one, your blessings is coming, and they just want to see how you're going to respond to people. A lot of times when I see that, there are certain people I can't even deal with, I have to be able to allow myself to cut myself off from that. And, sometimes I don't want to, but if there's a vibe that you're taking on that, is giving off on me, I'm going to go with my instinct. Like, hey, I did what I can do. I wish that person well, but I got to go. You have to be able to do that. Be bold in your convictions. Be bold, and what's better off for you. If you want something good in your life, you have to be able to let go of that bad. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of this video, y'all. I was going to make videos yesterday, but, after that situation of seeing that, that really took a lot out of me. So I just allow myself to just keep that Rivera family, as well as, her ex-husband and her child, in my prayers, because I know that has to be a lot to deal with, especially the little boys. I don't know how his mindset is like that. Sometimes at that age, they really can't comprehend what death is. I think this mom or daddy don't went bye-bye for a minute and gonna come back, but keep them people in your prayers. I'm going to go ahead and give a post notification shout out to Rosemary Snow. Much love to you. Angel Zavella, much love to you. It's good hearing from you. It's a trip and a half. Jen Lynn, Susan Whittleman, and Linda Williams, much love to you as well. And I will see y'all in my next video. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Drop me a line. I would love to hear from you. Share, thumbs up, tell somebody about the channel. I greatly appreciate it. subscribe. If you need to get in touch with me privately, please find me on Facebook Messenger. You don't have to have the Facebook app to have the Facebook Messenger. You can get in touch with me there. A lot of people don't feel comfortable with dropping lines here, so they rather, have a one-on-one conversation with me, on Messenger, and whatever we speak on is confidential. I'll give you the deeper understanding about your spiritual self and your purpose, give you a deeper understanding about your purpose. And I'll try my best to go ahead and answer those things. If I can, I'll find the information to help you to know those things. And I will see y'all on my next video. Know that you are truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved, and knowing there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. And I pray that everything that you're trying to manifest into your life will actually, it'll come. There's 100,000 times more than what you asked for, expected, or even prayed for. And same when you finally receive it as well. Even through social distancing, make sure you give off love, light, positivity, as well as prosperity words, 5 frequencies. You never know, all those things to really help somebody go a long way. Much love to you. Peace. Be wild.